Afternoon, my friends. This is the Grim Flayer. Hope everybody out there is doing very well today, and we are here to play Modern Horizons Sealed Event, 5 matches, basically a League of Sealed, which is really cool. This just dropped a couple hours ago. We're here just going in blind, testing the waters. And for those who don't know, for those who are maybe stumbling across this, I am a Modern aficionado, Green-Black Rock to be specific. And I don't play much Limited, but I did play a Limited 9-match event on this channel previously for War of the Spark for the first time ever. That went very well. That went 6-3, and hopefully we can replicate a similar positive result here. But all that is to say, I'm just giving you the disclaimer. I'm not a Limited dedicated player, and this is also a brand new set. So you might see some things you disagree with. I encourage you to let me know. Let me know if I'm making the right choices here in deck building and indeed in the games. But so interestingly enough, we did get both forces in these colors. We got Force of Negation in blue and Force of Rage in red, and I'm not sure how good either of them really are in Limited. I'm a little suspicious of Force of Negation because, of course, it's creature-dominated. Similarly, Lava Dart is arguably one of the best cards in the set, if you ask certain people, for Modern, but here in Limited, I have no idea how good it is. I'm leaning toward playing with none of these, but I kind of set them aside because they're very high-impact cards, potentially, if we see matchups where they look good, so those might be kind of our go-to sideboard cards, but we haven't really drawn any gigantic, awesome bombs. Like, Pashalik Mons is pretty good. We just don't have that many goblins, unfortunately, but it's still a good value play. We've still got a couple goblin things in here, like Goblin War Party. If only this Orcish Hellraiser was a goblin, then we'd really be in business, right? But we got some decent cards. I think Miss Syndicate Naga is potentially pretty good. Mana War is a really nice value play. Factor Fiction, so we're almost like an Izzet mid-range deck. We're not so much a Spells Matter deck. We're like a good value play. We've got an aggressive bent. We've got some good value plays. We've got some card advantage with Factor Fiction. We've got a decent amount of attackers that get pretty good. We've got a nice mix of evasion and value, and Igneous Elemental, I think, was a big attraction to playing this deck. This card as a 3-of is pretty decent at the top end, and it's only a 4-drop, hopefully, because we do have ways to get lands into the graveyard, and here's 3 of them right here. We also have our good utility lands that do facilitate these colors, so I think all things considered, this is more or less what we were priced into doing, is playing an Izzet deck. Things I haven't talked about, we're playing 1 Eye-Kite and 1 Prohibit. I don't know, I think Eye-Kite, if I had to choose, might be a little bit better, and we've got 1 each on the bench, but it is worth including a little bit of permission. Exclude is a great permission spell, it looks like to me. I would love to play 2 Excludes and no Prohibits, but we'll see how Prohibit does. Maybe rotate it out for an Eye-Kite, or maybe keep the 1-1 split. Everdream, Consistency Tool with upside. Scour Possibilities, again, Consistency Tool with upside. Vengeful Devil, yeah, adds to our aggressive plan, adds to the ability to ping things on the board. Fairy Seer, Consistency Tool gets the early beats on. A flying blocker can become relevant in races as well. That can enable ninjutsu pretty easily as well. Force of Rage is flexible enough. We'll see how it plays, but I think it's worth playing. Throes of Chaos, I don't know if this is worth playing. It's obviously a bit of a non-bow with like a Force of Rage at the wrong time, or like cascading into Exclude, but it is technically a 2-for-1. It is another way to get lands in the graveyard, which is good for our Igneous Elemental, and it's a pretty high upside play, I guess, so I don't know if I should be playing that card, but I am. I like Reign of Revelation, yet another way to get a land in the yard and just card advantage and selection. Oneirophage, I think, is a fine, big flying beater that grows over time. Factor Fiction is awesome. Pondering Mage seems decent, relevant body, good card advantage and selection. And Quakefoot Cyclops at the top end, helps us punch damage through, or it's a consistency tool if you cycle it. So I think the look of this deck is decent. Again, we don't have any of the very biggest bombs, but it's a pretty coherent deck. I didn't see any massive reasons to go into any of the other colors. We just kind of don't have that many bombs. in the sealed pool. So I don't know how good we're going to, how well off we're going to be here, and it says 7-7. I don't see any reason to doubt that, so sure. But yeah, let's kind of take one last look here. Not enough slivers to make me want to play Blade back. Like I said, we're leaving out one each of Ikite and Prohibit till we see how they play. I don't think Smoke Shroud is any good without many ninjas. And Chiller Pillar is cool, but we don't have enough snow permanents, I don't think, to make a 3/3 for 4 otherwise better than what we're doing. Unless, like, Throes of Chaos is terrible, maybe we can just throw in a Chiller Pillar, or just a 2/2 sliver with a little bit of upside. We'll see. We'll see, but in any case, my friends, here we go. Here we go. We're going to play some Modern Horizon Sealed. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Remember that this is kind of a one-off thing, this way to spice up the content on this channel, maybe bring in some new viewers, or maybe just give my loyal viewers something different to look at besides green-black cards in Modern. However, that said, Modern remains the heart and soul of this channel, GB Rock remains the heart and soul, and tomorrow, if my schedule remains open, which right now it is, later in the day, I'm going to be playing the first BG Rock League with Modern Horizons cards and with the new league structure. So many changes afoot, and that'll come. But for now, let's just have fun doing this. We won the die roll, and unfortunately, we've got to take a mulligan. I don't think we can keep a one-lander. Okay, this is fine. We will keep the opponent mulled as well, so that's good. I'm going to say no to the 4th land. And while we are in the opening stages of this match here, let us thank our recent Patreon supporters. We have Taraz Tizvovsky and Peter Delcor, both of whom are new Patreon supporters on this channel, and we also have to thank Alan Sokic, who is an older Patreon, but one who has upgraded his level of support. Now, I did shout out these guys in a recent Horizon Speculations video, but my rule is that all Patreon supporters get a shout out on a gameplay video. So there you go, my friends, and thank you so much for your support. Thanks, as always, to all Patreon supporters. And we're getting beat with the Goblin Champion. Okay, so they're getting real aggressive here. That's going to make me want to cycle this in search of more immediate action, I think. Even though it lines up well against them, turn 5 is just pretty far away. Manowar. Manowar is a good one. It's a good tempo play here. That's what we're going to do. Bounce that Changeling and pass. Alright, so I'm rewarded for that cycle. Miss Syndicate Naga's a very high upside card here, but I don't know how good it's going to be. The opponent is stuck on 2 lands, though. Interesting. So, Miss Syndicate's not really going to get through anyway, so I guess we just play the... I should probably learn how to pronounce this card. Onerophage. Onerophage? The Squid Illusion flying big beater. And we're just in a defensive posture here. They're clearly an aggressive deck that's stuck on lands. Not anymore stuck on lands. Still an aggressive deck, though. So I'm very happy to... Oh, they got our Squid. And they got our Manowar. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, the coast is clear for the opponent to hit us for 4. We draw Throes of Chaos. Well, is that any good? I don't know. It's pretty awkward. We're in an awkward spot. Like, Miss Syndicate Naga trades, but that's pretty... It's a pretty bad use of one of our best cards, but... Well, what else is in our deck? Yeah, I don't know. Let's not even bother with that. Let's just say... I'm just going to play the Miss Syndicate Naga because... You know, forcing them to have another removal spell, I think, is valid here because they've already had 2. It sucks against Firebolt, but they're at least a couple turns away from flashing that back. I'm pretty happy to just trade this off with the Changeling if need be. I do think I'm going to take 1 here, though. I'm not gonna be that aggressive with my trade. And the Retrace on Throes of Chaos is not appealing yet because I kind of need... Well, no, maybe it is actually, because then we get another land in the bin and we reduce the cost of Igneous Elemental, but really I'm just hoping to kind of top deck a Mountain here. That would be great. The opponent's got not much. We can pop the Changeling with the Elemental, and then we can get in with our Naga, and then we're really ahead. But the opponent looks like they do have something. Lesser Masticore, discarding Answered Prayer. And that can ping the Naga. Well, that's pretty annoying. That's so annoying, actually. Oh, that's very, very good against it. But what are you going to do? So, at least Pashalik Mons is a pretty decent draw here, and I guess since we're just going to get pinged next turn, we might as well try to get in. Make a token here. If the opponent takes a block here, that's fine with me. If they've got yet another kill spell, that would be annoying. Okay, trading off with the Masticore is pretty cool as well. There's not really any way around that persists, you know? Just gonna have to try to battle through it. But Pashalik Mons is decent here. And if we ever hit that other red land for Igneous Elemental, we will be able to get a nice 2-for-1 and a nice big body on the field. If we untap with Pashalik, that's interesting, but honestly, I think I'm just taking this block here. And then we will ping the... I guess the Masticore. Don't know how relevant that is versus the haste and the exalted of Goblin Champion. Really, the haste is obviously no longer relevant. Spinehorn Minotaur. It can get double strike if they've drawn 2 or more. Interesting. Let's just draw a red land and kill the goblin. No. Man. How awkward. Still no land in the graveyard. I think we need to... I don't think holding up Prohibit's good here. I think we need to gamble on this Cascade. Well, draw a card. I mean, that's really not great, but okay. Prismatic Vista. Okay, so now we can at least hold up Prohibit. And next turn we can cast the Igneous Elemental. Let's hope they don't double strike us with Exalted this turn. That would be awful. Okay, just a hit for 3, which is pretty good, but could be worse. So we can't Prohibit. Very annoying. Kite. All right, well, we get to have a turn. I don't know if it's better. Probably better to kill the Exalted source. And probably better to play the Kite than hold up Prohibit, especially a non-kicked Prohibit. The Kite does wall off the kind of suicide to force damage through plan a little bit better. But, you know, we're in an interesting spot. And hey, it looks like we're successfully warding off the opponent for the moment. Okay. Well, let's retrace here. Why not? That's what it's in the deck for, right? It's pretty cool. Pretty fun, if nothing else. What do we get? What happened? Was that a bug, or am I just missing something? Oh boy. Well, that's annoying, and potentially embarrassing if I mess something up. But I don't know. Oh, did we... Okay. We cascaded into exclude. Oh, that's so bad. That's that's just so bad. Well, we did identify that in the deck tech, right? It's one of the major downsides, but all right, let's do it again. At least it's coming back for more, right? This is hilarious. All right, let's hit a good cascade this time. Force of Rage. Another pretty awkward one. These are literally the two cards I said, well, Force of Rage at the wrong time, or the counter magic, but you know, at least this one's not dead. We will send in the elementals here. Get a little damage across, or maybe force a chump block or two, but yeah, it's just the damage. Sure. Man. Recruit the Worthy. All right. So they had it with buyback. We could have prohibited that, but doesn't seem correct to me. Force of Rage. Beginning of your next upkeep is when they get sacked. Interesting. I assumed it was the end step, but doesn't change what we would have done there. They're not attacking anyway. Orcish Hellraiser. Seems pretty good. I guess now we're kind of just going to start chipping in with this Kite. How does buyback work against counter magic anyway? I actually don't know, because this is one of the old style mechanics they brought back. So all right, whatever. Let's prohibit this. It's probably fine. Probably a fine use of our prohibit there. Answered Prayers. That's a potentially good one. Igneous Elemental. Okay. Can't quite cast it this turn because we paid the Echo, but it's another solid card, I suppose. Doesn't necessarily change all that much, but I do kind of like it. It's just our guaranteed value, right? Little awkward that everything is dealing 2 against this 2/3, and we can't really deal with this Answered Prayers either, but they had another Recruit the Worthy. Pondering Mage. Yeah, I like that better than the Elemental here. Alright, so do any of these cards get us out from under this combo of Recruit the Worthy and Answered Prayers? Like, Fairy Seer can chump, but it's pretty awful. I think we need to shuffle. Vengeful Devil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's just such a good little synergy there. Oh boy. 4/4 Flying Haste. Well, that's another way to to do it. Yep. We'll take our correct blocks here, but that should be about it. Yep, exactly, lethal, and that's just it. So, bit of a rough one. I felt like we could have been in an okay position if we had been able to cast our elemental earlier. Lava Dart's interesting against that 3/1 and all those tokens, but still just seems like such a bad card overall in Limited. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, my friends. Alright, friends, we're back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something quick while we had a moment. And we are just resubmitting. You know, I thought about the Lava Dart while I was gone. I just don't know how good that really is. Sounds slow, but fine. We'll keep it. I think slow but fine is generally a decent place to be in Limited, right? So just keep hitting our land drops and maybe hit a little bit of early interaction or an early board presence. Everdream, sure. I'm pretty happy to cycle that on the end step here. We won't get the upside of splicing, but opponent's got that Secluded Step. Everdream. Man o' War, huh? Well, I don't really want to cast that without the value. Triple Igneous Elemental is really powerful if we can ever get there, but so far we haven't hit land drops and we haven't hit our Suspended Knight of Old Benalia. Interesting. Come on, land? Land, 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 land. Sweet. A good land, too. All right, very good. So let's go get a mountain. And make 3 goblins, I guess. All right, so now we can cast Igneous Elementals. Hopefully we can just aggro the opponent out, you know. Ping their board with the elementals, keep turning our goblins sideways. We can also tempo them out with Mana War. Oh boy, the Goblin Civil War. Well, now we can just kind of roast this stuff with our elemental, I guess. One at a time, but leaving a 4/3 behind seems pretty good. Alright. Here's our big payoff card, Igneous Elemental, for this deck. And we are definitely the aggressor. We're definitely just turning our goblins sideways here. No other land is a little annoying, but we'll live with it. And now even big stuff we can hopefully take down with a combination of, you know, trading damage, however they block, plus further elementals. Or we can just bounce it with Mana War and keep chugging along. So it's a nice little aggressive curve out we're having. Yeah, another changeling is very vulnerable at this moment in time. So it's just going to be another igneous elemental, I guess. They could have, like, shelter here or something, I guess, but I guess they don't. Very cool. Oh, they got something, though. Magmatic Sinkhole, sure. That's a good one, but we already did get our value out of that, so we come out ahead on that trade, of course. The Knight of Old Benalia is still on his way. Still on his way. Pretty cool card. Throes of Chaos. You know, not drawing another land has actually been really bad, but our hand is still great. It's just so clunky now. A lot of the stuff we can cast is a little conditional. Recruit the Worthy. You got it. Yeah, that's going to stall us out pretty well. I could have considered actually cycling the Quakefoot Cyclops there. Maybe I should have, but it's just such a reasonable body, like, to hardcast when we finally hit another another land that I didn't. But we can still, of course, just cycle it here on the end step if we decide that's necessary. Alright, I mean, that's good, but we can bounce it here and just race. You know, I guess we've got enough gas in hand that I am going to cycle. It doesn't matter. I will pay the Echo because I'm probably playing Man of War this turn anyway. Yeah, exclude is fine, but alright, now bouncing the Knight is live when it comes off of cycling. There's an Orcish Hellraiser. Ooh, that's a pretty good one in this board. You know, we get it with the Elemental that gets to ping our own Hellraiser, and then our Hellraiser gets to deal 2 to them, or it just kills our Mana War. Oh, they just make the Knight big. Interesting. Well, that's really good for us because we just have another Mana War in hand. I guess that's the play. Alright, cool. Mana War, OP. Mana War, very, very OP. And that was another attraction to building this deck, was we did draft 2 Mana War. Yeah, the counter magic continues to be a little awkward, but I think Exclude specifically is worth keeping in, and I don't think any of these other cards are really the best, but, you know what? For this matchup, I'm going to actually bring in another Eye-Kite for Prohibit. That's reasonable enough. It's good against their tokens, and it's generally good to have more bodies, more proactive things to do. Ooh, brutal. This hand's good, but I guess we mulligan. We don't keep the one-lander in limited. This is fine. Pondering Mage, huh? I don't know what to do with this. So... I think it's pretty good in the matchup. I'm going to top it. Ooh, the beats. The turn 1 Goblin Champion. You got it. Don't get our value out of the Forgotten Cave this game. We just need that as a land drop. One of the reasons I almost didn't top the mage is because if we had another land on top, then we could maybe go mountain, cycle the cave, and we do, so maybe that was an interesting line, but I don't know, I think Pondering Mage is pretty sweet here. Just the 3/4 body is quite relevant, and of course, the ETB value can let us pull ahead if we can stabilize, and we have the tools to stabilize in hand. Pashulik Mons is pretty nice. It's going to be my play next turn. And they suspend a Knight of Old Benalia, Force of Rage. That's an interesting one, but let's just play the, let's just get our value right now. They don't have a board to really blow out with Force as a defensive play, so I guess we technically shouldn't 6 through our turn, but I don't see myself pitching this very good card, Goblin War Party, to make a free spell here. Answered Prayers is a nice one. That's a real tough card for me to beat, I think. Okay, Throes of Chaos are our favorite card. What do we like here? So, War Party's mana efficient. It's very mana efficient. And it synergizes well with Pashulik Mons. But the Naga might be higher upside, like force them to have removal for that. And if they don't, then we can realistically erase this Angel with a bunch of Nagas. So I think I'm going to go for that. Goblin War Party. Yikes, but at least we have a war party of our own, right? But there goes our dreams of getting through with the Naga. So... are we just in a purely defensive posture? It's so bad against Answered Prayers, but... like, nothing we do is realistically beating that anyway. So I think we are. And I think we have to hope they don't draw creatures. So we'll go for the Pondering Mage. I don't know. Exclude is good against Answered Prayers. Everdream is fine. Igneous Elemental is pretty fine. So those cards are all good, but it also makes our hand pretty clunky. But I guess that's what we're going to do, so let's Let's top these. We could actually have topped... it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what we do. Battle Screech. Oh boy, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, this card's amazing. And Answered Prayers is so good. Yeah, we're getting beat down in the air. We need help. But at least we can hopefully exclude their creature play next turn. Even if it's Battle Screech. Yeah, they might have another one, but what are you going to do? So, yep, we're just passing. I think. Yeah, let's attack with a Pondering Mage. We've got to at least threaten the clock, and there's no real reason for them to do, like, to turn their whole team sideways on the board, on the ground anyway. So, I guess that's a pretty free attack. Unlike Miss Syndicate Naga, which they'll just block with a Goblin. Recruit the Worthy. Oh, this is, yeah, it's not, none of these are even creature spells. Oh, geez. Well, they had two good ways around our exclude, and here they are, so sure. Lots of trouble here, my friends. Yep. Just way too much value to fight through, it's just insane. Alright, I guess we're just drawing a card here. Very dead on board, but we have to play as though they won't have a creature for Answered Prayers, or as though we can counter it with Exclude. So is there a way to... I mean, we just have to kind of play an elemental and kill a bird. I mean, we are still just dead to... We can't hold up Exclude this way. Oh, we don't even have a land card in the graveyard, so we really can't hold up Exclude. But, yeah, we just have to assume... Never mind. I mean, we're just dead on board with them turning everything sideways. Except for Force of Rage. Maybe that blows them out, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if they assume... Yeah, we'll just see what they do. Oh, does Knight come off suspend this turn? Well, everything's just lining up great for the opponent, isn't it? Oh, well. Answered Prayer is a tough one to beat. Battle Screech was just insane here, though. Alright. All the value, all the value. Okay, absolutely wrecked that game. Answered Prayers. Huh, that is a tough one, I see. Well, what can you do, my friends? That was a good match. It was fun. It was fun, but our opponent's token strategy actually lines up really well against us because, like, our 2-for-1s with the Igneous Elementals and stuff are not always 2-for-1s. If they're on a less token-heavy plan like they were Game 2, we can really just curve out on them, but was not the case there. We did take 2 mulligans as well, and what do we think about this? I mean, I guess it's a keep, but the lack of red mana is pretty annoying. But we do have the turn 3 Mist Syndicate Naga on the play, which against some decks might just be awesome. And we got a 2-drop, but we can't cast it. Alright, so we need... Yeah, obviously need a mountain is still kind of our best draw. Everdream. Well, Outlast. Tap 2, tap it, put a counter on it as a sorcery. Alright, we'll play the Naga. So we're against, I guess, green-white slivers. And Force of Rage could become relevant in this matchup, but not against First Strike, it can't. Oh, First Strike is just good against everything we're doing. Alright. Red. We did it. We did it, we did it, we did it. Now what? I guess... I kind of like the Hellraiser here, actually, because it's punishing them for engaging in combat. Unlike most other things in our deck, we also get to end step Everdream. And against First Strike, we kind of need this type of, damage to the board style effect. Opponent's on Naya. Naya Slivers. Or 4-color Slivers, as the case may be. Hollowhead Slivers, they're looting now. Yeah, I'm gonna take this block and... I guess kill the Lancer. Oh, it's a player or planeswalker. Well, read the bleeping card. Honestly, I think that might be correct anyway, because we're not going to probably pay the Echo with our only red mana next turn, but that would also just be really OP if it was deal 2 to any target. So that's a little bit clearer now than it was at the time. My bad. But again, I think that would be probably the play anyway. I don't really know. First Strike is just so annoying right now. So annoying. So, do we roll the dice on Throes of Chaos? Like, Goblin War Party's not that impressive. Force of Rage is very bad against First Strike. I kind of think we do. Kind of think we just Cascade and see what happens. Like, our hand is a little bit... Sure, Scour the Possibilities is pretty good. Pondering Mage is also quite nice, so... Guess we're going to bottom the Islet, top the Pondering Mage, draw it, then we can actually Cascade again. Oh no, no. Oh, that was a mistake. I meant to... Well, I don't know if I would actually do it anyway, right? Because we might need to just make our land drops a little bit more. But they'd pitch an Answered Prayers. Everybody's playing Answered Prayers. What I was clicking that island for is to consider pitching it to Retrace, to Cascade again. But that was a misclick. Yeah, we're not blocking. We just got to go on the Pondering Mage defensive plan here. Hope it's enough to stall. Irregular Cohort. Jeez, that's good. Mana War is good too, but not sufficient at the moment. So we are just going to play Pondering Mage here. Alright, so Igneous Elemental is our kill spell. That's what we need. So we've got to top this stuff. So let's go... No shuffle. Play our land. Pass. So if Igneous Elemental can successfully kill the Lancer Sliver, then we have a more interesting game on our hands. As it is, they need to answer the Pondering Mage to have free attacks. Their board is big enough that they might just turn them all sideways here, in which case, I don't know. Don't know how good that'll be. Okay, the Outlast plan is pretty solid. It's just making the board even bigger, but we are going to get our kill on the Lancer, which is huge. And we're still just in a purely defensive posture. Okay, so they loot away a land. So much value. So much value. I'm going to get in with the Mist Syndicate. If they choose to trade, that's fine. If not, I make a token. And we do still have Force of Rage. Gotta remember about Force of Rage. The first sliver, oh my god, they're on 5 color slivers and they drew the first sliver. And then they get to make a golem. They're just going so wide. But this is a 7/7 and all slivers cascade. Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. What are we supposed to do against that? That's a bomb. That's a bomb if you can support it, which apparently they can. Alright, so I mean, Goblin War Party is going to buy us some time. Mana War can kill that Shapeshifter or that Golem. I guess I like those two plays. But the first sliver, every sliver with Cascade, yeah, I don't know if we're going to beat that. How good is Goblin War Party's Entwine against the first sliver? I don't know. I guess we're just making our tokens. Interesting game, for sure. Interesting game here. Magmatic Sinkhole. Yep. Okay, they're sending it in. It's Force of Rage time. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I think it's now or never. Alright, so does the opponent have any effects before we move to blocks? They don't. So, try to take down the first sliver here. I mean, if they have one removal spell, I don't think any way we block is particularly good. So, Alright, let's try to block like this. Again, if they have a removal spell, like, we just can't throw our whole board in front of the sliver in case they have a removal spell, right? So I think this is a pretty good block, but, oh boy. They've got Shelter, which is also very nice. And there goes most of our board. Well, we had to try. Opponent's got a really nice curve out. You know, they cast the 5-color spell in limited. What are you going to do about that? Probably not much. Okay, we're empty-handed. We draw Mountain. Good enough for me against the first sliver. Good enough for me. Yeah, we could have actually cascaded with Throes of Chaos into Exclude, which would have been the worst possible cascade target again. Alright, well, against the Sliver deck. The Slivers are so good that I'm a little bit more interested in Prohibit just as any kind of permission. Maybe over iKite, because iKite is pretty poor against their board. So that's kind of how I'm seeing those slots. Like, if they're on a go-wide weenie deck, maybe iKite gets better. If they're playing things more traditionally along the curve in like a tribal setup like this, maybe Prohibit gets better. That's how I see it anyway. Could be wrong, but this hand looks really good. We'll keep it. We've got the tempo, we've got the permission, we've got the top end. And we've got 3 lands, which should be sufficient, assuming normal variance to continue curving out. Alright, there's a 4-drop for us, so we hit our lands from here on out, and we've got a nice curve. Problem is, it's all a little bit reactive. This hand is almost better on the draw, right? But okay, we hit the land, so I'd rather hold up Prohibit than play Mana War on an empty board. Really wish I had Exclude here, but yeah, Prohibit's such a bad card. It really is. Can't counter that. And even if we bounce that, it's going to ping us, which is very annoying, but oh, I don't know that we had any other choices there with our sequencing, so guess we're going to be mana efficient here and play the Squid Illusion thing. And then we can consider Mana War, hold up Prohibit, or just Pondering Mage next turn. Hollowhead Sliver. Well, they just drafted so many slivers, and the first sliver, it's unbelievable. Like, look at all this stuff. It's insane. No blocks. But our Squid's getting nice and big, and Reign of Revelation is probably good enough to just... I don't know if we want to main phase it. Maybe that's just a good thing to hold up, right? But making our Squid huge is pretty sweet. So I think it's correct here to pass hold up Prohibit for one last turn maybe, and also just hold up Reign of Revelation. Hopefully get to blow the opponent out pretty bad here. Blade back Sliver. Sliver's ping. You got it. If they're hellbent, that is. Yep. Alright, well this worked out kinda poorly for us holding back the Prohibit, but hopefully this payoff is gonna be well worth it. Alright, we pick either Prohibit or Mountain, I guess. Next turn we're going to have 6 lands. I mean, they're just going to ping us to death, maybe. Alright, let's pitch Prohibit. Draw another land is bad. It's pretty bad, pretty bad. So, yeah, we can go Pondering Mage. Or just double Mana War. Honestly, it's probably just double Mana War and try to race. Bounce that one. They're going to loot in response, sure. Loot away a land. And then, do we force them to redeploy the first strike one? Yeah, let's bounce the Lancer, I guess. Mana War is our lifeline in these matchups. In this deck, maybe even. Not selling the squid short. The 6/7 flyer is also pretty good. That just keeps growing. So next turn it's going to be 7. If we cast Pondering Mage, it becomes an 8/9. Then the following turn, we might have lethal. Let's hope they can't answer it. If they do, I bet we're dead. Alright, so they just redeploy the things we knew about. Alright, so this is the one that pings, this is the one that loots. I'm pretty interested in a double block here. I don't know which one's better to hit. I guess they just probably won't get hellbent this turn, so let's double block the looter. Pashalik Mons, that's a nice draw. That's a nice draw, I would say. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we can't exactly play it this turn, but I think Orcish Hellraiser, Pondering Mage followed by Hellraiser as a floor is pretty good. So, sure. Alright. I don't know if any of this stuff is that good. Let's just shuffle. Goblin War Party seems decent, but we're just going to play the Hellraiser here and plan on living for this upcoming turn. Then we will have close to lethal with the squid, potentially able to get there with Pashalik Mons. Maybe not quite. They do have a big board, but yeah, a couple turns. Alright. The Oneirophage. It manifests at wizard academies to siphon inspiration from young prodigies. Well, how glad are we that it does? This is giving us a fighting chance against this 5-color sliver deck. They've only got they've got 4 colors now. Okay, they're close. They're close to casting the big man. Wow, so many ping effects. And they drafted, like, an insane amount of slivers, it must be said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, paying the Echo here is an open question, because it's going to put them to 10, we're going to draw a card, we're going to have a 9/10. So pinging them for 2 doesn't actually really change anything, so I guess we do pay the Echo. But if we draw like a card draw spell, we don't. Alright. We could have cast the Elemental first, but I don't know if I'm playing around anything that they could have for 1 mana. I think it's just very unlikely that we lose it all from here. So we're just playing it pretty safe. And I think I'm going to also play it safe with my... Nah, the Prismatic Vista's pretty nice here. So we play it, we sack it, we play Elemental and Mons, sure. Let's ping the first... Well, no, let's ping something that... Let's get a pinger off the field. And let's play our Goblin Lord and pass. Alright. Obviously a few different ways we could have sequenced there. It's a bit complicated, but I don't anticipate any way that we lose from here. Unless they have an answer to the squid, which I don't know what it could be. Oh, they've got 5 colors. They could cast the first sliver, but yeah, again, that doesn't really do it at this stage. Of course, they might not even have it, but I guess... Alright, here come the attacks. We're just blocking everything. Block here. Block here. Block here, I guess. Don't see it mattering. Shelter. Sure. So that thing will live, but could have force damage through the main phase shelter. Cycle. Sure. Wonder whether all of this could have been done just main phase to plan out the attacks better, but again, it shouldn't matter from here, and it doesn't, so. Alright, cool. We gotta win, and that was pretty sweet. Prohibit continued to be pretty bad there, but Lava Dart is not better against these slivers. They're all X2s, it seems. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna just keep playing with Prohibit. Ikite seems pretty bad in this matchup. So Prohibit it is, because it is a reasonable card if we can get it to line up. We just, often won't. Especially on the draw. But hey. Why are we getting so many one-landers? Pretty much have to mulligan that one. This hand is awful, but we'll keep. And Goblin War Party? It's a good value play, but... Sure, it's got decent synergy with Vengeful Devil. It's just like the card quality of these tokens is very low against the Sliver deck, right? But I guess we're supposed to top that. We've got 4 lands. It's a good value 4-drop, but other cards I would have been happier to see. Let's hope the opponent's gets punished at some point ever for playing a 5-color deck. Okay, Vengeful Devil, huh? Or do we just go Fairy Seer? I guess it's Fairy Seer at this stage. Scry 2? Well, I'm glad I did. Couple islands on top is pretty awful. Maybe an argument for keeping one of them to make sure we hit our 5th land drop, but... I think we're playing for higher upsides than that at this point. Alright, the opponent's got the Rainbow lands. Good Fortune Unicorn. Oh my goodness, pumping the slivers. Well, that's just awful. Alright, so I don't think we're at chump stage yet with the fairy, so we might as well attack. And we're going to exclude literally any creature they play. If for some miracle they don't, that's good for us. We can ever dream on the end step, but... They drafted a Prismatic Vista too, huh? Alright, exclude is big game here. Exclude is big game. Alright. Scour all possibilities is interesting. Igneous Elemental is also interesting, but we don't... Oh, it's so good, but we can't cast it yet. Wish we had our Prismatic Vista. Whoops, I misclicked. I was trying to get my graveyard open. We're not attacking anymore with the Seer. Do we just make the Goblin War Party here? Or do we play Scour into Devil? I'm gonna go with the Scour, but it's a close call. Prismatic Vista. Alright, so I guess we're bottoming this mountain and topping the Vista. And since they know about it, we might as well use it now to play our Devil. So right now, as things stand, in theory, we can ward off the attacks by chumping with the Fairy. Not chumping, because then Devil can ping the creature after combat, but they probably have some way to outsize that, or to get first strike, or to kill a creature or something, right? But are they just outlasting this turn? I mean, that's obviously a really good mana sink as well. But we did ward off the attacks for a minute, and now we get to play the Elemental, and I guess we've got to do it now. And I guess Good Fortune Unicorn's our only target. And we'll get in with the Fairy. Do we want to ping with the Devil? Yeah, we probably do, because we're not chumping. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We're not really in chump block mode this turn anyway. Like, either our Elemental can block well or it can't. It's probably nothing to do with the Devil staying back or lack thereof. Yeah, I'm going to take a block on the... I guess on the Outlast Sliver. Shelter, sure. Very annoying, but yeah, their deck is awesome. It really is. I'm not just saying that, like, they drafted so many slivers, they drafted a couple other good enablers like Shelter and Good Fortune Unicorn, and they seem to be having no trouble at all playing 5 colors, right? But Igneous Elemental, a nice draw. I guess we're staying back. Or are our incentives the same as they were before? Maybe we are trying to race here. Like, they just have the inevitability, I think, with Outlast at the moment, so I guess we kind of have to race. Nurturing Peatland they even have. Pretty nice. We've got, of course, one of our own in color, which is nice, and we're going to crack it on the end step. Ooh, getting smoked by the 5-color slivers is going to feel bad, but it seems like a really strong thing to do. Yikes, Irregular Cohort is sweet. Such a good card. Alright, end step, we're going to crack our Horizon Land. And we drew Prohibit. Yeah, pretty awful. Pretty awful, right? So, we can't quite splice onto Goblin War Party. It's all very awkward. It's all very awkward and annoying. We can't entwine either, not that that would be great this turn. So it's a question of, do we hold up Prohibit? I think we actually hold up Prohibit. And just chip in with the Fairy. Like, the War Party, again, is pretty medium against the Slivers, even though it seems good to make the board wider. Obviously it is to some degree. But the dream here is if the only card they have in hand is like a 2-drop and we can prohibit splicing Everdream. They've got the Sunbaked Canyon. Yeah, really, really good deck from the opponent here. I like it. Bogarden Dragonheart. So I guess we just have to naturally prohibit that. Again, we can't afford the splice as well. So just prohibited. Is this just an Outlast? Sure. Alright, because we cannot splice this onto the War Party yet, we'll just cycle it. Naga Syndicate, Miss Syndicate Naga, huh? Pashilik Mons. Alright, let's have a double spell turn of stuff that's a little medium, but at least it's action, right? And the fairy clock continues. Yeah, opponent's starting to flood a little bit. Splicer's skill makes a golem and it has splice, but that didn't matter. Alright, so we're both just kind of going wide. And that continues with our Orcish Hellraiser draw. So, they've got the ability to just ping like crazy on the end step here, because they are now Hellbent. That's our big, big issue. So I think we need to, the Golem with First Strike. Oh, it doesn't have First Strike. I'm just used to Blade Splicer, right? No First Strike. Okay. So we need to force some trades here, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 on board. That's kind of cool. And they have, this is the one that pings, they have Outlast, and nothing else does anything, no buffs, so I think I'm attacking with everything except the Devil. And then we'll just fill the board back up based on what happens here. Opponent's getting all the ping value. Alright, so Pashilik can finish this off. I guess that's probably just correct. Make our goblins, play our orc. Pass. Do we ping with the Devil? Sure. Now that we've got all these chumps, that's probably correct. I don't know, though. Could obviously make their blocks a little bit more awkward if we didn't, but we're in a race situation because they've got these ping creatures. Yeah, they top deck a land. That's good for us. Alright, we will pay the Echo because we don't have lethal yet. Yes. Prohibit. Oh no, that's so awful. Alright. I'm obviously fine trading a Hellraiser here, so I'll attack with that. We'll attack with the Fairy. I guess that's it. We don't want to give them any free blocks, so I guess that's all we can really do. And now it's time to pass. I mean, Prohibit can, yeah, of course, counter a lot of their plays, right? So it's either going to be really good or really, really bad. Oh man, this is a good game no matter what happens. This is a very good game. Etchings of the Chosen. Prohibited. Alright, so obviously we have to block if they attack. Kind of have to block one if it's only one. Yeah, okay, they don't attack at all. Alright, so we have... They have to block the Hellraiser, because if they don't, Hellraiser plus 4 things getting through is lethal. So let's say they trade with the Hellraiser, we do 2 to them. They also block a Goblin. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 gets through. Right? I mean, we've just got all-out attack anyway, because if we don't end step, they ping us. Then they untap, they ping us again. So... turn them all sideways and see what the opponent does. Can't believe we drew Mountain there. That's so bad, but we might just have it anyway. Because Orcish Hellraiser forcing the damage through is OP. Here come the pings, yep. And that's gonna do it. What a close game. What a good game. And we got there. GG, well played. GG, well played, opponent. That was fun. Alright, our deck puts up a win. We were really in the first match too. We just kind of got curved out on crazy by tokens, but that was a nice one. And we moved to 1-1 in the league, and I'll see you in a moment for round 3, excuse me. And we're back. Here we are looking for a round 3 opponent, and our deck is pretty fun. It's got a lot of interesting little things. Again, we kind of lack the big bombs. Like, obviously the opponent we just played, their big bomb is the first sliver, and drafting an army of slivers to go with it. And, you know, there's lots of other big bombs running around this format. It doesn't appear to be as bomb-heavy as War of the Spark, which I think most people probably say is a good thing. But, yeah, we don't have, like, a build around, but the power of our ability to draw one-landers... My god, I hate mulling this much in Limited, but we have to. Pretty rough. This is a fine 6, though. We'll keep it. Just bottom that, I guess. Yeah, so, like, our Igneous Elemental, our Manowar. We've got like a relatively high density of some really reasonable cards. We don't have the OP build around cards, but that's alright. Clearly we can compete without them. I just don't know if we're necessarily all that favored against a lot of the decks we're going to see, but our deck is reasonable, right? It's not like a total total trash pile. Watcher for tomorrow. This is the Hideaway Creature. Pretty cool. So when it leaves the field, they get the card. Yeah, that's nice. I'd be playing that card if we drafted it. Sadly, we did not. Not sure if I'm going to cycle the Cyclops here. Manowar is very bad against Watcher for tomorrow. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, my best answer is going to be the Goblin War Party. Opponent's stuck on a 2-lander. Alright, I think that makes me actually not want to cycle the Cyclops. We know we're not going to be under that much pressure. We can... I was going to say we can hold up Exclude here. Scour all possibilities is an interesting draw, though. I think I've got to kind of do that. They're mono blue right now. They could be playing without any more creatures in high densities anyway. Do we need a 5th land? I guess we do if we're keeping the Cyclops, so let's bottom mountain, draw this island. And next turn we're just going to, I guess, fetch a mountain, thin out our deck a tad, and get the Goblin War Party down. Arkham's Astrolabe. Very cool card. All right. Miss Syndicate Naga. Sure. Think we still want the goblins here. Alright, now I don't mind trading with a Watcher for tomorrow with a Goblin token for sure, but the, obviously Manowar would be very loose, but, getting rid of this thing permanently is fine. And they're going to do it because they kind of probably need to hit the land drop, but I think I'm still supposed to make that trade. We can't just ignore that thing forever. So Frostwalk Bastion becomes a 2/3. Oh, Manowar. Manowar. Man, their whole deck is good against Manowar, including their own Manowars. We don't really want to bounce that. Alright, so we could just get a 4/4 down. Or we could get our Miss Syndicate Naga down. But I think we want to be mana efficient here. Next turn we can hold up Exclude, so yeah. Let's play our 4/4. And we get an attack for 1, that's cool. I don't really know how good Quakefoot... What? Didn't I say that can't block this turn? I sure thought I did. Oh, did I click and then click off of it again? That's such a tilt. Oh, that's so tilting. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's only a goblin token, but still. And they've got a full-blown snow theme going on over there. Cool. So Igneous Elemental's a nice draw. Well, kind of nice. Like, we can only cast it if we cast it this turn. I actually think I'm going to stick with the original plan, which is to play Miss Syndicate Naga and hold up Exclude. On the other hand, playing the Elemental allows us to be more aggressive, but I think I'm gonna play it cool for one turn here. Really hope we get some nice value with Exclude. Obviously, having it last turn would have been ideal, but oh boy. Yep, I'll exclude that Conifer Worm. That's sufficient value for me. Very, very happy I took this line, my friends. So even though we threw away our Goblin by apparently misclicking, maybe I clicked twice and it clicked on the Jellyfish and then off of it again. That's all I can think of, but either way, we're in a decent position now. So why don't we kill that saddled Rhymestag, I suppose, is the target. And then I'm actually just going to bounce the crab so we can have a really good attack here. Alright, we're turning the corner nicely. They take the trade. Sure, makes sense. They've got an empty board now. Here comes the crab. You got it. Three cards in hand. Not sure what they could be. Let's just get aggressive. We gotta remember the Frostwalk Bastion, so I guess we're not attacking with Manowar. Maybe I could have held Manowar, maybe, but I don't know. Probably pretty fine either way. Let's play this Hellraiser, and then I'm actually going to hold the mountain in case we draw that Cascade card and we want to retrace it. Also, just to bluff and so on. Oh boy, what's the Factor Fiction? Oh, that's brutal. So I separate into two. The opponent chooses one to go in the hand. Alright, their land, I mean, I guess Forest is technically the worst land. Or the better land. That doesn't matter what lands we give them. So I guess let's just put the Forest together and Manowar. It's possible I should put Scour of Possibilities all on its own because I just don't care that much about anything else. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't care if they have a million lands in the Manowar. Yep, I think that's correct. I mean, maybe it's not, but none of them are snow permanents, so it's not like they're irrelevant with that crab. I don't know if there's other things they could have that make them relevant, and of course they still get to flashback Scour, but so will the opponent try to mill us out? Looks like they will. Hey, getting a couple bad cards off the top of our deck. And then they get to bounce whatever with the Manowar. A lot of our stuff has ETB triggers, so they just bounce the Cyclops. I mean, that's pretty fine with me. We get to make it so they can't block that well next turn, but the crabs are racing us, and the Frostwalla can be pumped. But they're totally tapped out now. Alright, we'll pay the Echo. And we get a Pondering Mage. Well, that's a little awkward now that we just kind of have all of this stuff, but Like, we just got a clunky hand now, but some powerful things. So we're just racing as efficiently as possible here. So I guess that does make me want to play the Pondering Mage and have the Cyclops for a lethal swing. Alright, Throes of Chaos, Ever Dream, Island. I don't think those cards are the greatest. I'm going to shuffle away. Igneous Elemental, there's a good reward for shuffling, so... Obviously, they've got some free blocks with the crabs, but technically we're bluffing here. Okay, that's fine with me. So if we cast the Cyclops next turn for 5 and the Elemental for 4, we might be able to wipe their board. You know, they'll probably have Frostwalla's activation. That's a problem, but you know, if they kind of tap out, and their tap out includes playing more creatures, and we have a good window for another Elemental that could help us. We also have the ability to cycle the Cyclops, fittingly enough, on our unstep here, but I don't think we want to. I think we want that ETB. Rime Tender. All the snow. Yeah, I mean, the win condition is real, I guess. And they do have Frostwalk Bastion held up. It's a problem. It's a problem. Okay. Yeah, no cycling. We'll untap, see what we draw. Opponent's still got 3 cards in hand, too. They've got a nice mid-rangey snow deck over there. Lots of value. Ever Dream, huh? So, I think we make it so the crabs cannot block. That way they've got to put their creatures in front of ours, and we can finish off the follow-up play, you know, whatever they buff with Elemental, basically. So, let's take their nice 0/4 blockers off the table for a turn. 1, 2... Okay, that looks like it actually worked this time. Oh, we don't... did I miscount? I guess I miscounted the amount of lands we had. So we cannot actually follow up with the Elemental. Well, that's pretty bad, but... I think we're still turning them all sideways here. Icefang Coatl? Oh no, that's worse than I possibly expected. That is so bad. That is so bad. Oh no. What's with everybody drafting these really good synergy decks? Maybe that's just how the format is and we're not a part of it, huh? That's alright, it's a wicked cool deck. I love the snow theme, for sure. Alright, you know, as far as blocks go, this could be worse, for sure. But, you know, since I clearly miscounted the lands, maybe it was better to play the Elemental and just, like, kill a Rime Tender. I don't know. But the Rime Tender is just chumping. Frostwalla is going to get big. Yep. Alright, I mean, we did force a little damage through. But if they've got more snow permanents, that's bad, bad news. I still got the Frostwalk Bastion, of course. They've still got a lot of cards in hand. Yeah, I don't know. Remember, we did give them all the lands, and I haven't been tracking them, but... And at this point, it's such a race that I'm definitely, I think, end-stepping Everdream. I'm definitely not interested in holding on to it so I can get the splice value. The only reason I hesitate and say I think is, of course, because... yeah, we're getting milled out, so... drawing a card is not free, but... oh, no. No, the Blizzard Strix. Opponent says hi, like, 15 minutes into our game. Okay. Hi. Yeah, that's savage. That is savage. And we're just dead. They recast the Astrolabe. Right? You gonna cast it? Gonna cast it? Gonna cast it? Are they worried about counter magic? Okay. A savage swipe trying to draw out counter magic. Sure. I don't have any. Oh, sorry, this was blinked, not return to the hand. Yep, so we're just dead. Okay. Good game. Alrighty. Well, that was very close. Obviously, we could really have gotten them. The opponent continued to draw a lot of gas. What do we think about iKite versus Prohibit in this matchup? They both actually seem okay. Maybe we just remain on the 1-1 split. Manowar was a little bad there in places, but I think keeping 2 in is fine. It's obviously good against a lot of their stuff, just happened to line up awkwardly in the early game. And I mean, I don't know about Force of Rage, really, but seems fine to just force damage through, I suppose. Probably trying to race this deck as hard as we can. So, let's do it. Take the play, and it's a fine hand, I guess. We'll keep. It's actually kind of bad, kind of awkward, but if we can prohibit something, that's a start. Prohibit a key turn 2 play. Was a fun game 1. Good luck this game, says the opponent. Agreed. Same to you. Prismatic Vista, sure. Might be correct to just crack that as soon as possible. Maybe I'll just do that next turn. Alright. Prohibited. Or do we... yeah, we're gonna play the Vista, cycle the Cave. So on the end step, I guess we'll fetch first, then cycle. Scour all possibilities. You got it, my friend. You got it. Opponent went bottom. we'll get our mountain, then we'll cycle this Forgotten Cave away. Okay, Igneous Elemental is online, but we don't want to cast it yet. Once again, we see our creatures with ETB, some of our All-Stars looking a little awkward against this deck. Again, I still think they're good, but I was going to say, as long as we just, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm actually just going to attack for 6 with Force of Rage. Yeah, I think that's fine. I wouldn't call it a good play, but because we are flooding badly, and because our spells are powerful but reactive, and because we don't need Force of Rage at all as a defensive play this game, and because they play 0/4 crabs that block these elementals really well, all things considered, I believe it to be correct. So the opponent has a Tribute Mage tutoring a Lesser Masticore. And we draw yet another land. Pretty bad, guys. Pretty bad stuff. But at least we get to justify playing the Elemental here. We get to kill that Tribute Mage. Definitely don't want to bounce it with Mana War and let them get another 2-drop artifact if they have one. Alright, so, like, can we just draw some gas from now on? Like, let's just hit the gas pedal deck. You can do it. You can do it. Watcher for Tomorrow. Another thing we can't really Mana War. But we can Mana War this Lesser Masticore just to tempo them out a little bit, but again, we need to hit the gas pedal here. I got an Astrolabe or something for the final play here. Guess we won't dismiss that because we're probably bouncing it, right? Savage Swipe. Oh, God, what a turn. What an unbelievable turn. And we just draw another land, but at least it's a Horizon land. Oh, my God. Alright, well, you know, when you mulligan and then you flood like crazy in Limited, it's just, especially when we don't have the I Win cards in our deck, I just don't think we're going to get there, but we have every opportunity to. Our opponent's progression is beatable. We just... Genesis. Yikes. Well, we'll Mana War that. Factor Fiction. Right on time to be very awkward. Right on time to be very awkward because we can't double spell. Ugh, what do we do? I guess we gotta bounce the Genesis. Think that's fairly correct here. Oh boy, so our progression is annoying, but Factor Fiction is a lifeline. We just, and it could, you know, if we just hit a bunch of gas off of it, it could turn our flood into a good thing. Lets us have some really efficient turns. I guess we're blocking the Masticore here. I don't know if I'm supposed to play around something. Okay, seems like a free one for me. Once again, the good cards coming at the awkward times. Alright, let's Factor Fiction, I guess. So put one pile into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Choose one pile to put into your hand. Did the opponent misclick? Choose a pile to put into your hand. Okay. I'll draw 5. Think our poor opponent misclicked. That's unfortunate, but I'll take it. And I guess we're just bouncing Genesis again here. Alright, well, maybe it's going to take a misclick for us to get there, but obviously Factor Fiction would have been good there anyway. But, and we still, you know, we're still not, like, winning. Do we take this block? Yeah, I guess we do, because Vig Genesis is just kind of outsizing. Maybe that was... I don't know. We're kind of more or less at their mercy for now anyway, and we don't have information because we have all these draw spells in our hand, so we don't really know what's correct. We don't have the info on what they're going to do with Genesis, whether we can answer it, so on and so forth. I don't know if it was correct to take that block or not. Rime Tender. So no Genesis. Interesting. Igneous Elemental's a really good draw. Let's begin with that, see what happens. And then I think I'm going to go Scour into Ikite here, because next turn our Ikite gets really big with Reign of Revelation. We probably want to top both of these, or at least the Igneous Elemental. I think we're just going top here. Just going as wide as possible seems correct at the moment. Didn't really do the math on it. Maybe the Naga's loose because we know they have Genesis, but even a chump attack into Genesis followed up by Elemental is live, right? So they pitched Genesis to their own Reign of Revelation on the end step, and now they can go on the value plan with Genesis, but we just hope it's too slow, basically. Buying back the Coatl is insane value, and that's what they do. So, just going to try to aggro them out. If they play the Coatl... Oh, they've got Mana War. Well, that's annoying, actually. Bouncing Ikite. Yep, that's actually quite annoying. So I guess we're pretty priced into killing the Coatl because it does have Death Touch. Even though, of course, they can buy it back, it's an insane value train. Nothing we can do to disrupt that. Okay, we're just going to play creatures this turn, so let's attack first. Ikite, Mist Syndicate, Naga, pass. Gotta imagine we've got lethal here, despite the opponent's insane value. It's a very different game they're playing here from game one, where they were a lot more defensive. I mean, this is all still defensive, but they were on the mill plan, and yeah, I didn't really expect Genesis, but Genesis is a pretty big bomb of the sort that we didn't necessarily draft. You know, obviously it's a little clunky, but value is unreal. Another Mana War. Okay. Yeah, continuing to bounce that Ikite is really good. Throes of Chaos, huh? Alright, so we're forcing damage through either way this turn. Do we just Cascade now? Try to get something that makes it lethal? I don't know. I really don't know what we should be doing, so I guess let's Cascade. Exclude, you've got to be kidding me. How often can we hit that card? It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Oh my god. Literally unbelievable. What more can I say? It's unbelievable. Have I said unbelievable yet? I'm about to just have to cut that exclude card from my deck, I think, but... Or the Cascade card from my deck. Yeah, I guess we're just doing this now. Pitch a mountain. Actually gonna play a devil and ping them for one. That seems really relevant here. That seems really relevant. So now I think there should be no way the opponent has the ability to stay alive here, but obviously I don't know what all's in their deck. They're gonna see a lot of value, a lot of cards this turn, but it's a pretty rewarding pickup for choosing to main phase the Reign of Revelation. Alright, so now it's the onus is on the opponent to find something good to do here. I mean, obviously they've got a lot of really good things to do. Ooh, the Masticore. Yeah, that can ping our devil, I guess, but what do they do to stay alive beyond that? They just immediately ping it, yep. Okay. Then they're just planning to chump, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Alright, let's Cascade. Come on, something useful. Fairy Seer. That's actually a little useful, I guess. Alright, War Party Hellraiser, those are both pretty good. We'll top with the one that does the direct damage on top. Playing things out first doesn't matter. They already just are forced into chump blocking here. Alright, is there any way we don't have them now? Is there any way we don't have them now? I know they can ping the Fairy Seer, but then that's one less blocker they have. Unless they ping... Ooh, what if they ping with the Genesis trigger on the stack and then buy it back? It's actually pretty annoying, but it just might be too mana intensive for them to survive. What an interesting game, though, this is. Alright. Interesting. Opponent might be puzzling out that exact line that I just laid out at the moment. And if so, they decide it's a little bit, again, too mana intensive, so they just buy back the Coatl, probably a better call. See more action. They can still ping with the Masticore. And they're just scooping here. Alright, good enough for me. Oh, they tapped that for mana? They probably did that on purpose, just as a way to go out on their own terms. Can't imagine that they would be doing that otherwise. Well, hey, Throes of Chaos proved to be okay. Honestly, I think it's fine. We only have 2 counter spells. We just... yeah, what are you gonna do? You Cascade into your Exclude. I think that's fine to stay in. Or do we want to just, like, cut it for an Ikite? Let's cut it for an Ikite on the draw here. Just have another attacker, another evasive attacker, right? It's a 1-2, but it can get bigger temporarily. And those, chip damage points, they do add up. They do add up, my friends. clock's very low, so I'm going to have to try to play fast here as well. Guys, why do we keep getting one-landers? This is ridiculous. I've never seen so many one-landers in my life. I think this is a Maul, especially with the Painland. Not that they're an aggressive deck, but I guess we keep this two-lander. Bottoming anything that's not a land with this hand. We're just mulling so much. That's such a heavy mull. Alright, third land is good. The turn 2 mill crab, huh? It's pretty annoying. But it is a mana war target. And it might be our best one. We'll see what they do here, but as you've seen in the other matches, they often have things that get good ETB value that we don't really want a mana war. Alright, the mill train begins, and they've milled Mountain Fairies here. That's pretty fine with us. Yeah, we're going to bounce it, or attempt to. So it might be just turn 4 Oneirophage and race. Opponent's got the crab to redeploy if they so desire, which obviously blocks Mana War really well. They've got the Snowlands too. That's pretty annoying. Ooh, some really good ones that just got milled. Alright, I think I'm just jamming the squid here. Not, I'm respecting the clock. I'm not going to play around with a bluff attack or anything. They've seen enough of our deck, too, that they're just going to block. Well, if the opponent ever lets us go, I guess. They're playing with fire as far as the clock is concerned, but he's still got plenty of time, but, you never know. And of course, we'll have to see what we draw, but I think the squid is going to be a lot more tempting than most things. But if we draw a... Oh no, you know what we can also do is just kill the crab with our elemental. After the opponent blocks here. So it's not a bluff attack after all, is it? And if they don't block, we just play the squid. Aha, the opponent is suspicious. Alright, so this works out pretty well for us as things stand, because the opponent is going to be priced into blocking probably sooner than later. And then, of course, we can get him with the elemental, and if they don't, we're just attacking for free. Reign of Revelation. Yeah, that's good, but slow. Good but slow. Pitching an island. Passing back to us, one assumes. Yes. Alright. The squid grows. Once again, no block. I mean, sure. Make the Goblin War Party. Yeah, I don't know if it was correct to fetch there. Obviously they're on something of a mill plan. Taking a card out of our deck might be loose if we don't have to, but I don't think it'll matter. I think I would rather thin out my deck a tad. Lesser Mastic Horror, sure. This can ping a goblin. Force of Rage, huh? So sadly we cannot hardcast Force and Elemental, so I think we've got to save Force for next turn. But maybe we're interested in cracking Fiery Islet. first. Grow the squid. Decide what to do. It's only another island, huh? So I guess we're just gonna kill the front half of this Masticore. It's not that good. It's spicier to kill the crab after it blocked, but again, now that we drew Force of Rage, I think we are just racing. So they get to ping a goblin. Then they get to come back. And we get to swing. Opponent has perfect information with which to block, but unless they have counter magic, I expect Force of Rage is going to kill them next turn. Force of Rage has been an interesting inclusion in this deck. Arkham's Astrolabe, however that's pronounced. Milling us. Hellraiser and Ikite go down. Those are two pretty good cards. And then they get a land, they mill Mountain Pashalik Mons. Those are less impressive against this deck. Alright, I think we're just jamming Force. Oh, they've got a play on their own end step. Blizzard Strix. Okay, so they're trying to tempo us out. Resetting the squid is really good, but obviously we're just jamming Force even harder now. Alright, opponent's going to go to 1 with this blocking strategy. I think they need the crab to block an elemental. Or... okay. Alright, they're at 1 and we've got a really wide board. These elementals are going away, but we've got a really wide board. And we do have a flyer. And we are a red deck. That Strix was annoying, for sure. Very annoying, but... Manowar. Okay. Bouncing the squid. You got it. Yep, the opponent making the stand again. Kind of like they did in Game 1, which ended up working out for them as it happens, but... you know, our flood here has been very annoying, but... okay, we lose our tokens. Come on, action. Action, action. Action, Jackson. It's an island. It's an island. Lame. So lame. Alright, we're going to attack with all... attacking with the goblin doesn't do anything, so let's just attack with these two. Force some trades, I guess. I don't know what other, blink effects they have. I think it's fine to just trade off here. Can't believe we've just flooded this hard, my friends. But we still may very well get there. The onus, again, is on the opponent. The clock is against the opponent. They got a Factor Fiction. Come on, Factor Fiction. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, I don't know what to give them. This is a really good bunch of cards, and they've got the mana to do everything. So the island is kind of an afterthought. Let's give them Island and Talisman and their best spell. What about that? Their best spell may be Watcher for tomorrow, because I don't know if there's another 2-drop artifact for them to find with Trinket Mage. So I guess we're doing it that way. Obviously, that's a real toss-up. So they take Tribute Mage and Scour all possibilities, which means they must have another tutor target, which means our line might not be correct, or maybe they just really wanted Scour. I don't know. It's impossible to say. I think that's a reasonable thing to do, though, is assume they don't have other 2-drops to... Like, how many 2-drop artifacts did you draft, right? Like, Astrolabe is... Are they flashing back, or is this a different 5-drop? If they're flashing back... Oh, it's Pondering Mage? Oh my goodness. That's a good one. Alright, can we just draw something that kills the opponent here, please? Please? Oh, sorry. What am I talking about? Oh, Narrowphage kills the opponent. They don't have a flying blocker. I guess we already have. Guess we've already done it. Sorry, friends. Complicated board states. Great games. We got there. We got there. Awesome. Good games, well played to the opponent. Really cool snow deck. Good games. Good luck in the rest of the league. In the rest of the league. Okay. Well, we got there by the skin of our teeth, and we advanced to 2-1. Hype. Hype City. Hype City. I don't think our deck is all that strong, but I think it's really coherent, and I think the reach of our deck is nice. Like, if we were just kind of on a good stuff deck in a different color, or a different color combination that didn't have the evasion and the reach that we do here, it'd be a lot harder to close out games, but... we are in blue-red, and that is nice, and I guess this is a keep. Pretty strong hand, obviously just needs to hit land. And I'm tired of the mulligans we've been taking, that is for real, so... We hope to be able to do turn 2 Ikite. I guess that's what we're going to do, even if we haven't hit a land by then. But we just basically want to see lands. If we see lands naturally, we can go just curve out Ikite into Mons, into Squid. If we don't, we will have to cast an Everdream at some point. Hey, land number 3 is already here. Beauteous. Oh, another snow blue deck. Interesting. Alright, so... Pretty tempted to cast Everdream and get our beat on a little bit more and have another chance at hitting land. I actually think that's what I'm going to do. That sets up for a Reign of Revelation next turn. Pashalik Mons doesn't seem that great against this type of deck. So, yeah, we'll Everdream. Alright. No 4th land yet, but it does give us a better chance to hit one next turn. Obviously better than 0, which is what it would have been if we cast Mons, right? So, I'm happy enough with that line. Opponent mills over a land on top. Well, that is rude. They also mill over one of our best cards. Also rude. And they also bounce our Ikite. What a rude turn. Absolutely rude. Absolutely rude, rude, rude. So, Mons is the most mana efficient. It's not that impressive, but I guess that is still kind of what we're doing. We don't really want to cast the Hellraiser yet. Echo is annoying when you're mana screwed like this, but hey, you know. We now have a land in the graveyard, so we just hit another mountain, another red source, and we are doing everything. We're casting elementals and killing the Manowar, or killing the crab after a block. We're casting our Oneirophage. We are casting Reign of Revelation. Okay, let's ping them. They kill our Mons with a Twisted Reflection. Entwined. Okay, fair enough. Come on, fourth land. Red land. Oh, we did it. Calling the shots. I think I just like the elemental here. The 4/3 body is just so relevant against that crab. And killing the Manowar is awesome. Make sure we get it down. They might be playing counter magic. They might be a deck like ours that has a little bit of counter magic mixed in. Gluttonous Slug, 0/3 Menace evolve, then they scour all possibilities. Going one bottom, one top. We draw Scour of our own. Alright. So, Elemental can't kill anything on the field right now. So let's just attack. I think we might just play the Squid here. Squid OP. So we're very much the aggro now. And we're ahead on cards. So, I mean, our position is in theory fine. Obviously, we don't know what's in the opponent's deck. Yawgmoth. I was going to say maybe they just have a bomb. Yawgmoth is a bomb. Alright, pro-humans doesn't matter against us. Pay 1 life, sack a creature. Put a -1/-1 counter. And draw a card. Wow, Yawgmoth. That's a good one. Are they going to sack this thing now? Yep. Sure enough. Okay, I mean, they traded their board for our Squid, basically, their other two. We have the real aggro advantage here. We don't want to play out too much into their Yawgmoth, but their big problem is this elemental, so I guess we're just going as wide as possible here. And I guess we like Hellraiser, and yeah, Hellraiser Ikite is a fine turn. We can pay the Echo comfortably next turn if we want to. Still have some good things to do. It doesn't let us cast it Elemental, actually, with the mana. Okay, Winter's Rest. It doesn't untap, as long as you control another snow permanent. Well, they only have one, but that'll be enough. Oh, boy. Winter's Rest. Everybody's going to sleep. Changeling Outcast, huh? Well, they're stalling well. I guess we pay the Echo cost here, but it's annoying. Very annoying now that we draw Pondering Mage. Alright. Guess we're just going to main phase a Reign of Revelation, pitch something, then pass. Kind of want to hit a land drop here. Alright. I mean, all that stuff's pretty decent. Let's pitch the Naga because it doesn't line up well against their board. And then we're going to pass. I don't think the bluff attack is at all correct because, like, they're far enough behind on life totals that they kind of have to call the bluff and block with Yawgmoth. That was still a good value turn for us, you know. We Paid our echo cost, we got card advantage, we made our land drop. Sling Gang Lieutenant makes... Oh, life gain. Wow. That's annoying. And Amorphous Axe, okay. Pumping something. Alright, what can we draw? We draw an Igneous Elemental. Obviously, those are really good. Alright, so I guess we attack with the Hellraiser. See what they do. If they do call the bluff with Yawgmoth, then we get to get him with the Elemental. Just a chump. That's also fine with us. Alright, so I think we want to cast a Scour and do a 4-drop probably, so let's lead with a Scour. Alright, Exclude is good, but I think we're going to just bottom. Getting the 7th land might... Well, we could just play Pondering Mage this turn if we top the land. I guess I kind of like that. Yawgmoth can block this human for free. Remember that. Mana War seems good, but is it good enough to top these other two kind of bad cards? Probably not. So let's just shuffle. Alright, a land. Not the greatest. Yeah, I mean, maybe Mana War was worth topping those three. I don't know. Ooh, a big boy. 5/4, draw a card, lose a life, unearth 3. Can't block and can't be blocked. Got it. We'll take one. Alright, Forgotten Cave. So we've got 8 mana. We can just play 2 elementals and kill Yawgmoth and then attack with everything. Not that that's actually attacking with everything is very good here, but... it's probably correct. Yeah, I think because it's going to just stop our Pondering Mage in its tracks. Yeah, I think we just go double elemental. Just making these 4/3s is pretty huge. And that 5/4 makes it so we don't... Obviously, if they didn't have that 5/4, we would make very different attacks, but... or very different plays this turn. Probably could have won this turn, but as it is, we can't, so I think we just make 2 4/3s kill a Yawgmoth. Seems pretty good. We've got a redraw in hand, and the Goblin War Party, remember, is a finisher, so next turn we can just give everything haste. That's probably the way to win. They go Crab, Talisman, Ice Fang. I mean, that's all good. It's all very good. So we'll see what we draw. They mill 2 lands kindly off the top for us. Feels good. And the Outcast cannot block or be blocked, so in it comes for 1. So the opponent does have a nice wide board, but Mana War is a draw. Unfortunately, we cannot entwine and Mana War, of course, so I guess we're going to cycle this before we do anything. See what it yields. Exclude. Alright, I like that well enough, so let's bounce something with Exclude. Next turn we're going to go all in on the War Party. And I guess it should just be this Gargantuan, because to replay it's going to take their whole turn and it loses them a life. And then next turn, and then we hold up Exclude to counter it even if we want to. And next turn we finish them with the Goblin War Party. Entwined. And this might even be just playing super cautious, but I think that's fine. And if they replay it, even though it's not great for them, I'm going to exclude it. I'll exclude this. I'm going to exclude anything. Okay. I got another creature. It's pretty good for the opponent. Let's hope they don't have yet another one. Here comes that Outcast. Chipping in for one. Such a loner. Not part of the greater conflict here whatsoever. Force of Rage. Once again, that's a little awkward, but... So I guess we got to do the math here. I mean, the opponent's got to throw away like their whole board to block us. So Goblin War Party, Fairy Seer gets in on the act too. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers. They're all... that's just got to be correct. Let's just do it. And I'm just assuming we've got lethal. I'm not doing the math here. It's been a long league, and it's just got to be correct. Force of Rage was, again, interesting there, though. The opponent's hesitating a lot. It does make me wonder if they have counter magic, but if so, they've only got 2 mana. I guess it's got to be Prohibit, so Prohibit doesn't stop us from doing anything else. That we want to do this turn. I guess the Cyclops is fine. If somehow this goes wrong, we'll top that. And then let's Entwine. Very exciting. Entwined Goblin War Party. And here we go. That's a big board. That is a big, big board. They've got all the Death Touch, they've got some value, but again, I don't know what they could have here. They're just making the correct blocks. Sling Gang Lieutenant, yeah, maybe they sack their goblins and stay alive somehow. But again, they'll throw away their whole board to do so. And they are still, well, let's just see what happens. Again, I'm not doing the math here. I think it's just correct to attack even if we're just a tad shy, right? Alright. We did it. We did it. Fun game. What do we think about our Prohibit Ikite split like we've been considering this whole time? You know, what to do with those in this matchup. Based on what we saw, I kind of think we just want to play 2 copies of Ikite and cut the Prohibit. We'll give that a shot here anyway in game 2. This is a pretty cool deck. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's got a little bit of everything. Mist Syndicate Naga has been underwhelming. It was one of the cards I was excited about, but you know, I guess we don't have that many enablers for it. We don't have like removal in this deck almost at all. We don't have that many evasive early attackers. 1 or 2 Eye-Kite, Fairy Seer. Yeah, I guess we've got a good low curve. We just don't usually see the low curve stuff early, it seems. And I don't believe we've had a ninjutsu opportunity. If we have, maybe I missed it. That could happen. That could possibly happen. I'm not I'm not above missing the ninjutsu value, right? But anyway. Yeah, so like I was saying, I like our deck. I like just a little tad of counter magic like we have. Manowar, yeah, Igneous Elemental. Those are the cards I thought would be good, and they continue to be. They continue to prove that assertion correct. All right, opponent. What is it going to be? While we're waiting here, my friends, remember that I am always interested in hearing from you. So if you've had some fun leagues, some fun sealed events, or you will in the future, you know, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear what's going on in your games, on your side of the table. We can keep hands okay. I'm like never happy to see Throes of Chaos. Maybe it should just be out of the deck. I don't know. But it has actually... It's hit our one of exclude an annoying amount of the time, but it has actually been decent. Like I do think it's worth having for that retrace. Or, you know, at least potentially worth having in our deck. And I'm not calling it, like, good or anything. Okay, our draws so far have been Fiery Islet and Manowar. Those are both pretty good. If we hit another land drop, we can get the Islet in the graveyard for value, seeing a new card and enabling a cheap Igneous Elemental. We can bounce the Slug if it gets a couple counters. That doesn't feel bad. Looks like it's not getting counters this turn, though. Opponent will pass, huh? Okay, Fairy Seer. I don't even know if I want to play my Manowar yet. It's just like a really good mid-game card. We can just play Fairy Seer and Island and then hold up the Cyclops cycle, I guess. Which I don't know if that's even correct to cycle that card away, but I think it might actually be... I think that might actually be the line. We'll wait another turn on Manowar. I could have main phase cycle the Cyclops for more damage. Maybe that was correct. Alright, so what do we think about this board? Or these cards? I mean, they're both pretty good in the matchup, so I guess we just top. And then we're definitely cycling the Cyclops just to keep seeing those good cards and trying to hit more land drops eventually. You know, hit the 5th land by turn 5, basically. For that reason, I could have sent one of those to the bottom, but I think they're both good enough in this matchup that I'm willing to risk. Okay. Interesting. So, I was going to say, what do we do if they mill us? But they don't have anything to mill us with. Sure, we'll just cycle. Just mana efficient. The only problem with this line is it doesn't give us a wonderful turn this turn, but, you know, we didn't know they would only play a crab, I guess. We could just finally play the Mana War, bounce the Slug. I guess that might be the line. Just seems so loose because they have such better things to do. I think it's a little early to cascade. We don't want to cascade lands away either. So it's either Mana War or Hellraiser. I think I'm going to hang on to my Mana War for just a moment longer. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was correct to bottom like both of those cards, the Hellraiser and the Elemental. I don't know, but again, they're both pretty good overall in this matchup. I guess this is fine. We're just got to be patient here. Still nothing from the opponent, huh? Alright. I guess we're paying Echo here. Forgotten Cave. Let's attack with all. Bit of an awkward draw. Yep, opponent calls our bluff. It's too bad this is an ETB tapped land. And I guess we just kind of need it, so... Let's bounce your Slug, my friend. Trying to win this race between some very dirtily boards on both sides of the table. I don't know what the opponent could have on 4 mana, 2 of each color. They've got to have a kill spell or something. Yep, sure enough. Okay. To be expected. But now we've got the Elemental potentially live. Pondering Mage is good. I guess we still need to hit a land drop either way, because even if we cycle the Islet and don't hit a land, that doesn't do it. Yeah, our progression has just been the slightest bit awkward. Opponent did not shuffle, that's a little scary. Alright, there's a land. Cool. So, let's attack with everything, and we're going to kill whatever they block with a follow-up Elemental. Guess they block Mana War here. Oh, they block both. Alright. Fair. Alright, so once again, you kind of need to work to set it up a little bit at times, but the value of Igneous Elemental is very nice for us. Yawgmoth, there he is. There's the one we were a little frightened of, huh? Okay, here comes the Changeling, getting the damage in and then maybe being sacked to Yawgmoth, I don't know. Okay, not yet. Let's cash in this land. Everdream, huh? Mountain. Alright, so I guess once again we're kind of attacking and trying to finish something off with the Elemental. Like, I think that's just kind of the only line here. Alright, that's pretty good for us, I have to say. They might sack the crab to kill the fairy right now or something. Okay. Or to shrink that. Okay. I get it. I get it. That makes sense. Alright, so clearly it's elemental time, and I guess we're just trying to race Yawgmoth. So what do we kill, Slug or Crab? Guess we're killing Slug. But why don't we draw a card first? Alright, the value, the 2-for-1s. Opponent does the Yawgmoth thing. Sure, kills our fairy. Winter's Rest, that's a good one. But if we can... you know, maybe killing the crab was correct because of Winter's Rest. I was not playing around this card. Maybe we should have killed the crab over the slug? I don't know. That's an interesting one, but, you know, our life total is low. The one whatever menace is also a relevant attacker, strangely enough, so... Yeah, interesting, interesting. Winter's Rest into Sling Gang Lieutenant's a really good turn for the opponent, though. Fact or fiction? Okay. Do we like that, or do we like cascading? I guess fact or fiction's probably just better. What an interesting game this has been. This is a little bit of a medium 5, like it's got a lot of stuff, but alright. I think we're going to take the 3 cards. Now, what do we think about just Force of Rage right now with Throes of Chaos? It's just not very good against this Goblin Ping. So I guess we can't quite justify doing that. So let's just attack with the Hellraiser here. Leave a blocker back, play our Devil. We've got the Force of Rage pitch if that seems correct. On the defense, that is. And then I... So if we ping the lieutenant now, it's gonna maybe sack it. So, yeah, it can't kill us. All right, I think I like this. They get to do Yawgmoth things here, or they get to do sack things. Like, they've just got a lot of value against effects like this on the field right now. So they cash it in for the Yawgmoth play rather than the ping. Yeah, I mean, seems fine. Either one seems good. And we're getting milled at the same time as well by the crab. Milling over Goblin War Party and Miss Syndicate Naga. Goblin War Party would have been really nice here. Holy moly. Think we take the hit here? Thought about using the Force, but it's just so hard castable now, and so is Throes of Chaos. Scour all possibilities. You got it? Mountain. Well, we pretty clearly begin by rolling the dice on a Cascade, don't we? Let's Cascade and see what happens. Man-O-War. Well, definitely casting it. So we'll bounce the crab. Or, you know... Oh, interesting. So, bouncing Yawgmoth means they have to make decisions on Yawgmoth right now. One, two, three, four, five, six. We're going to have 12 power attacking, though, but again, Yawgmoth can cash stuff in. Alright, let's just bounce the crab. See what the opponent does here. Blizzard Strix. Yikes. Oh boy. Maximum punishment for not choosing to bounce like a token or something. Yeah. Oh, that Strix is so good. Strix is so good. Yep. Alright, I mean... Yeah, you got us. Okay. So now what? Force of Rage forces 1 block and puts them to 2. Then they get to bring back the crab, which I guess doesn't really matter for cracking back and killing us. This is tough, and the clock is running down. Alright, let's just get our damage through. The alternative, of course, was to retrace the Throes of Chaos, but obviously that's a lot riskier. Now is as good a time as any, I guess, to get in what damage we can, and they're going to get value here, of course. But I think putting them to 4 is basically correct, and then, of course, we can chump with Man-O-War, go to 2 ourselves, and hope our top deck plus the retrace gets us there next turn. Winter's Rest? Okay. I think the opponent missed lethal unless they just have it a different way. But if they had tapped down our Man-O-War, we'd be dead on board. They might just have it another way. No, Death Touch Changeling. Okay, I mean, good card, but... Ooh. Yeah, I mean... Maybe I'm missing something, but I believe Winter's Rest on our Man-O-War is lethal. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, you know, maybe they have another card that we can't beat in their hand. Pashulik Mons does not really do much for us here. So let's begin with another Cascade. What's it gonna be? What do we get? Are you kidding me? Nothing. Is it it's exclude again? How is this possible? How is this possible? Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me. Literally should not be possible to hit that as often as we have. Well, alright, scooping because the clock is relevant. Oh man, that is savage. Or was that? I don't even remember what game this is. It's just been the marathon. Okay, I guess this is game 3 or something. Yep. Man, that was tough. That was tough. Opponent really sticking in there. Well played. Good game. The Cascade into Exclude, what is happening? There's literally only one counter spell in my deck, and we cascaded into it, and we've what was that, the third, fourth time we've done it this league? I believe it was at least the third. You can see, though, why that card is good. Like, we cascaded into Mana War, and then we had, like, another Cascade for that turn, and if we had drawn another land, we would have had a second Cascade for that turn. It's just a really good late-game mana sink in a format that's very grindy, obviously, like this. But we keep hitting our Exclude. Oh, it's painful. It's so painful. These have been fun, though. These have been fun. It would be really nice to have just won that, of course. Would have been even more fun to have won, but hey. We're still giving everybody we come across a good game. The opponent's going deep in the tank on the sideboard. We just don't have that much to sideboard into, like, if we see a whole lot of X1s that are not tokens, we could consider Lava Dart. And then from there, we're just tweaking Ikite and Prohibit numbers. I think 2 Ikite is still correct. I think Lava Dart's pretty bad unless they're an army of those 3/1 changelings. Like, but obviously that's not the case. I mean, all the mulling has been insane too, right? Just insane amounts of mulligans. Way more mulligans on our side than our opponent's side. So maybe our opponent will show some sympathy and take a mulligan all the way down to 5 for us. How sweet would that be? We've also really got to try to stay ahead on the clock here. Opponent's taking a while as well, so we're catching back up on the clock, taking a while on the mull decision. Maybe AFK. Gotta play quickly. And I think I am... we're topping that, and we're just casting the Forgotten Cave, or deploying the Forgotten Cave, rather. We don't really want to cycle it away when we have a really good 4-drop in hand. This is a significantly reasonable curve out. Ikite into Mana War into Oneirophage. Force of Rage, that could be good. Mana War just as the tempo play here. Force of Rage could be good. If we're on such an aggressive plan, it might just work. See if we can bluff the opponent out. Nope. They got the Changeling, which is very good. But no fourth land, it appears. We got Igneous Elemental. Alright, we're attacking with everything, then we're going to kill... we can't. We can't cast Elemental yet. So, I think it's just actually Force of Rage time. Attack with everything. Should not have attacked with Mana War. That was a punt. I'm just playing quickly with the clock. That was a punt. Such a punt. Annoying. Technically a bluff attack, not a full punt, but no need to do that. Again, I'm just... At the end of round 4, they've all been wicked long, grindy games, and trying to beat the clock as well. Beating the clock as well as the mulligans, right? So maybe that was bad, but, you know, we've still got some good stuff to do here. I'm just kind of mixing up things in my brain, that's all. Alright. So I guess we're just racing hard, and then that means we will kill the... We'll kill the Changeling, I guess. It's the only clean kill we've got. And hopefully our flying squad just gets us there. This squid is a heck of a card. We usually win when we see it early, but the opponents, I was going to say they're stuck on land. Here they go, land number 4. But if they don't have removal, it's not looking good for them. Winter's Rest, they have removal. Or close enough. Man, that card is so good. So good, so good. And they've got a really nice board right now. But Ikite can still be a finisher. The flying is so good. And, of course, it gets big if we hit some action. I'm sandbagging this island in case we draw that stupid Cascade spell. You've got to be kidding me with the double Winter's Rest. Dude, what is this? What is this? Alright. We need action, and we need it right now. You've got to be kidding me, deck. Well, we came this far, and we're just losing to our own deck, basically, at the end of it. So unlucky. So unlucky. But the games have been good. Including in this match. But, you know, it feels bad to... Oh, see, here's what a sealed pool with a lot of removal looks like. Ours, not quite so much. Alright, I don't even know if we have any outs now. We don't really have an answer to Winter's Rest. And we're just drawing only lands. Well, not a very good game. Very, very, very unfortunate. What more can you say? We mulligans so much so far in this league, and then the opponent's got triple removal while we flood after them all. So, very good match, very fun match. Got a little bit cut off at the knees there in match number 3. Very sad but true, but that's alright. We're still live for the positive record, still live for the 3-2, and I will rejoin you for that momentarily. Alright, everybody, we are back for the 5th and final round of our league, and, okay, find a match right away. Cool, well, this is what it's all about. We're playing to cash the league, or not at all. I believe the prize points, the prize for this is not as kind as the new modern combined league. I don't think you get anything for the 2 and 3, so let's hope we get there. And we've been mulling so much, I guess I'm just going to keep this slightly risky hand. Like, we've just been mulling a ridiculous amount of the time, especially for a 2-color deck, right? So let us hope that we just curve out, hit an island and a mountain in the first couple turns, and then we will be looking at a pretty solid curve. Either way, though, it's been fun. Alright, there we go. So the Hellraiser is actually kind of awkward here, because if we pay the Echo, we're not playing a 3-drop next turn, but I think we're probably supposed to play it. Dredgescape Sliver. Alright, another Mana War, sure. I mean, we played this thing for a reason, let's attack. I don't think we can really do much about their Unearth ability. And I would have been surprised if they took a block that early against our thing that also gets value when it dies. But that Unearth is going to be a problem, I think. Slivers in general are probably going to be a problem, even though I believe we beat them earlier. Alright. No 4th land is annoying, but at least we're operational on 3, right? Okay, this is fine. We get to ping the opponent. And then we get to play either the Manowar or the Naga, I guess. Let's actually play the Naga. Go for the high upside of, you know, clearing the way for it to connect next turn with our Manowar. Sling Gang, Lieutenant. Well, that's about as punished as we could possibly be. Man, that card's good. Oh, wait, this is the sack to ping. Yeah, it doesn't ping the board. Still, So what do we like doing here? Do we just take this block? Yeah, I think we're just trading off. The Naga's no longer good against that army of goblins. Oh, that's good, but still no 4th land, so just play Manowar to kill a token, I guess. Of course, they get to cash it in, but, like, we're not winning the tempo game because we've missed our land drop twice in a row now, so I think it's better to just get the guaranteed value. Rank Officer. ETB, you may discard a card if you do make a zombie. Tap 2, tap it. Exile a creature card from the graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. Okay. Alright. Well, the zombie's a better target for Mana War, but now we're just going to play the squid. And pass. Just about the best card in our deck, this squid. Feels bad to continue going shields down with our exclude while the opponent is kind of almost flooded, right? But I think it's just correct to do proactive things. Alright, opponent's only got one card in hand. There's our 5th land. Yeah, once again, I think we're just gonna not be playing the exclude game, so let's just play this Pondering Mage, which is really good. And then go on the squid plan up in the skies. What do we think about these cards? Goblin War Party seems decent. Couple lands is not as much, but like hitting land drops isn't bad, especially one that we can cash in. So if we top these 3... Yeah, I think I can be talked into topping these 3. I think those are all reasonable cards. The Fiery Islet being a redraw that also makes our elemental cheaper and grows our squid. And the land in general, just making sure we're not too light on lands to stay efficient here. End step, they will cash in the Sliver to make us lose 2 life with the Officer. I didn't even look at what this Valiant Changeling does. Oh, 3/3 double strike? That's actually decent. That's actually pretty good. Good thing we played Pondering Mage. I didn't even look, like I said. Alright, so they're clearly trying to race. Alright, so if we take the best blocks in terms of board value, it would be blocking here with Mana War and here with Pondering Mage. That would mean we take 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we can handle that. I think we go for the good blocks on board. Oh boy. Yep. Okay. Well, they had a team-wide pump spell, I guess. Let's take a look at that card, Stirring Address. Well, I don't think any way we blocked would have beaten that. Any sensible way we block anyway. Overload. Each creature gets +2/+2. Yeah, that's a good finisher. That's annoying. We were just so set up to grind that game out. I kind of stole it with that card, but you know, that's what the deck I'm sure is designed to do. Prohibit can handle that. But Kite in general seems okay in this matchup too, so I think we're just going to run it back like it is. Yeah. We'll retain the 1/1 split of our fringe tech of Kite and Prohibit. Pretty funny stuff. And sure, we'll play first. Hey, a non-mulligan hand. How about that? Let's keep it. Pretty good curve out, too. Lacks a little bit of the top-end beef, but when you have a nice low curve, I guess that's kind of implicit. And hopefully we can set up some good stuff with the Fairy. Alright, Force of Rage. I think we... I think we're going to bottom the Force and then top the land. Because, like, making sure we have our 4th land drop is pretty fine. And also, if we hit more lands, we have the Forgotten Cave to cycle away, which is obviously good for enabling our elementals. So, I like this well enough, I suppose. And I think we're just playing the devil out here. And we're going to get in for 2. Diabolic Edict. This is actually a reasonably tough decision because the evasion of Fairy is relevant. I don't know how relevant the ping of Vengeful Devil is, the conditional ping. I guess the Devil's probably just good enough to keep, but that's a tough call. Fact or fiction? Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we haven't flooded, so let's just play the Cave out. And end step, we can ever dream here, which I guess we probably will. I guess we're a ways away from splicing. And I don't know if this is a matchup where that's correct anyway to splice, like to try to lean on the splice. Okay, creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1, and then you can sack one of them to give the another thing indestructible. Does not have to be of the type. Yep, we're drawing a card here. Zombie, they name. Fair enough. Well, the card's probably going to be very annoying. But hopefully Fact or Fiction is going to pull us into a decent position here. Kite is an alright draw, but we're just going to Fact or Fiction on the end step. Rank Officer. Yep. Fact or fiction? Oh boy. 5 spells. Well, I'm glad we've never cycled away this Forgotten Cave, and I'm glad we didn't bottom a land earlier either. Annoyingly, we still only have 1 blue source, but we're going to have to work around that. Goblin War Party and Pondering Mage and Prohibit go on their own. Huh. Never mind, they're changing it up. I don't know what to take here, because, like, I think I would be pretty happy taking the Pondering Mage pile if I had another blue card, but I just don't. And Prohibit's bad because they know about it, and again, because we're choked on blue. So Throes of Chaos is a little bad with us choked on mana, and with it just being notoriously randomly bad for us. So I think I'm going to take the Pondering Mage pile. Obviously a tough call. We draw another red source. That's a tilt. That's a tilt and a half, my friends. We've just got only blue spells, and for that reason, maybe we were supposed to take the other pile, but of course Throes of Chaos in the graveyard can be retraced. Is it possible for that to be correct, though? Is that even possible? I don't know what to do here. Like, Man of War bouncing a zombie is good value, but do we really care? I really wish we just drew an island for Pondering Mage. That would be amazing. Playing Kite seems just so loose. What if we just Cascade? I mean, what if? Honestly, is looking kind of like our best play. The only problem is it doesn't use blue mana. Maybe we're supposed to just use blue mana every turn for now. So whatever, we're going to play the Naga. Seems bad, but At least it gives them a somewhat relevant body. But we're not aggro anymore, that's for sure. Not against that Etchings of the Chosen and the token and all that stuff. So they gotta have 1 mana open and sack a creature to give something else indestructible. Venomous Changeling. Alright. Valiant Changeling. Jeez Louise, this is looking scary. I guess I take a trade while I can, while they don't have Indestructible live. And then I get to ping 2, which is not necessarily that relevant, but it's not nothing. Okay, another blue spell. Come on, deck. Like, this is a good card, but come on. This is so unlucky, and I think we cannot even retrace and then still cast even Ikite because we just don't have the mana. So, this is so rough. This is going to be a rough way to lose our ability to cash the league, if that's indeed what happens. I guess we've got to put our faith in the squid. And then we're going to sandbag that mountain because it just doesn't really accomplish anything for us yet. Like, we just are on the blue spells. And, you know, to be fair, we had the opportunity to take Goblin War Party, but how good is Goblin War Party really against their board? At most, like, chumps a few turns or just, like, triple blocks a zombie token or something. Just very underwhelming. Knight of Old Benalia hard cast. Yep. Oh my goodness, so how is this thing a 5/5? What am I missing? Oh, when it enters the battlefield, right? Okay. So we're going to take 10. Yeah, we're facing lethal right now, so we've just got to chump with the devil. Yeah, Knight of Benalia's Anthem. Alright. Another mountain. Guys, what's going on? Alright, well, we can Cascade. And then still play an Ikite, and I think that's the only out we have. Yep, we've got something that's a body. It's not great, but it's okay. Still just kind of forced into some chump blocks here, I'm sure. I mean, that was an okay turn for us considering we're still only on 1 blue source, but alright, so we gotta chump the double striker, and if we do that, then what other good blocks can we set up? I guess this is a good block, and there are no other good blocks, so we'll jump and we'll take 5. Pretty dead here, I'm afraid. Another golem. You got it. Another mountain for us. You couldn't make it up, my friends. You could not make it up. So if we I mean, obviously, Mana War is our only play. Or, no, Throes of Chaos is a play. But we're retracing, then we cannot play Mana War. So, what's our best possible line with Mana War? It would be to bounce a token and then chump the Valiant Changeling again, and then we're not dead. I guess we're supposed to play Mana War. This is so rough, though. This is so rough. This looks like a fine matchup for us. Like, the opponent's deck is good and cool, but, like, it's seems fine for us, but they stole game 1, and now here in game 2, we are just kind of getting both flooded, and we're getting land flooded and color screwed. It's really, really a tough place to be in a limited game, obviously. Alright. Opponent didn't cast removal, didn't kill us. Hey, another Mana War. Hope Springs Eternal. And our turn is still going to be awkward. But Throes of Chaos. Too much of a gamble. Well, you just know we'll hit the, what's it called? You just know we're going to hit the counter spell. I can't think of it right now. We're not chumping the Death Touch guy, so let's attack. Or we're not trading with the Death Touch guy, even. The Exclude, that's what I'm thinking of. You just know we're going to hit the Exclude with Throes of Chaos and tilt off the face of the earth. I don't think we take the chump here. If they've got, like, the Goblin to ping us, then we're just dead, but we're not beating that anyway. The Changeling, yes. That card is so good. Alright. Can we continue? Hey, there's an island. Seems like it's probably going to be too little too late, but it does give us a guaranteed body, which means we can attack with a squid and force them to have removal or something. So I guess that's correct. And we could ponder into something we could cast here. Pashalik Mon seems okay. So I guess we're topping everything. Top. 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 No shuffle. Get in for 6. In the sky. Play our Goblin and... I mean, we're put... Oh, no, we already played a land this turn? Really? I don't remember that. Well, that doesn't change... I mean, doesn't change anything. We would have attacked. I still think topping this is fine, blah, 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 but... I feel a little worse without a Goblin to play this turn. That I can tell you. But it doesn't really matter. They either have... Again, it doesn't change what we would have done last turn, right? So... And we just jump here. There's nothing else we can do. Is it going to be enough? Mob. Oh my god, they have removal for the squid. They must have just top-decked that, right? Or they could have just gotten this with lethal last turn. I don't know. This turn, rather. Whatever. That's just still so good for them. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we have Fiery Islet on top. So if we play Mons, we can stay alive by sacking him to make 2 goblins. But we can't really do anything else this turn. I guess we've got to. Now, do we play this land to make our Reign of Revelations next turn better, or do we hang on to it for Throes of Chaos? In the future. I don't know. I guess we'll pass. I mean, we're still so dead to so many things, but... Yep, this is what we've been reduced to. I guess we're pinging the opponent. If only his ability somehow still was relevant. Hey, you know what a good out is Force of Rage. If only his ability stayed around after he died for the turn, right? Okay, Ninja of the New Moon, sure. Okay, Force of Rage. Fiery Islet, we knew that was there. Okay, so do we... I guess we Reign of Revelations first. Can still cast Force if we find it. We don't. So let's pitch the Painland. Can't believe we just flooded. All we can do now is roll the dice on a Throes of Chaos. Scour all possibilities does not leave us with enough mana to hardcast Force, nor do we have the ability to cast it for free. So we've got to hope to cascade into it. Alright, Throes of Chaos, you have been bad for us a lot of the time here. Unreasonably bad. Let's get us a miraculous win out of nowhere, please. And thank you. One-time Force. One-time Force. Did it happen? We hit Exclude again! You literally could not make this up. No one would believe you. No one would believe you if you made that up. It's like, okay. You know, it's a little much if you're saying it happened like 5 out of the 7 times you cast a Force. Have I not conceded? Here we go. We're lagging, I guess. Like 5 out of the 7 times you cast a Cascade, it hits like your only your only dead card in the entire 40, and it happened 5 out of 7 times. Well, my friends, that was harsh. And like I said, unlike the new leagues, this is not a forgiving one to go 2 and 3. So we just get nothing here besides the kind of crappy cards we drew. Well, you know, we got a couple Forces. That's kind of cool. Force of Negate might be worth a little something, but ooh, that was a rough sealed event. I think, like, for our sealed pool, 2 and 3 is about right. But we were really, 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 really unlucky, I think, overall. So maybe the deck is actually a little bit better than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe this was good for a real 3 and 2 or better, but like we mulliganed way more than the opponents. We just kept cascading into our only counter spell. We either have 1 or 2 counter spells in the deck every time we cascaded, I believe. Just kept hitting the 1 Exclude. Unbelievable. And of course, you know, a fair amount of Flood, a fair amount of not great progressions, but I think our deck was good for a 3 and 2. We didn't quite manage it. That is alright. So, anyway, this is why we stick to Modern, right? This is why we stick to Modern. But in any case, I really hope you enjoyed this. This was fun. It was fun. It just feels bad to just kind of peter out at the end there, but it's all good. We gave them a good fight every match. even this 0-2, we were very close. We just didn't quite close the deal. In both of the games, we were very close. So, good games, well played to our opponents, and thank you all so much for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a fun change of pace, but as you know, this channel is all about Golgari midrange and Modern, and beginning tomorrow, if my schedule allows for it, we will be jamming our first league with the Modern Horizons technology. So stay tuned to that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Let me know what you think about the matches here, and I hope you all have a great day.